Today I'm going to tell you what I love about my new MacBook Air M2. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. I have my midnight 2022 MacBook Air M2 laptop right here, and I've been playing around with it a while, and I've made a list of all the things that I love. Now, I'm going to tell you I'm not a laptop reviewer, so I'm not going to tell you nits of brightness or any of those types of things, processor speed benchmarks, because I'm just your average user. I just want things to work when I want them to work. I just want things to feel speedy, like I'm not waiting on things. And there are a lot of things that matter to me as a normal consumer: battery life and ease of use. So I want to go into the things that I really love about this MacBook Air. First of all, the shape and color. I love that they finally have ditched the wedge shape of the MacBook Air. I always thought it was a little bit cheating when you say, hey, it's 10 millimeters down here, but 2 millimeters down here. I mean, what does that matter? It's still 10 millimeters up here, so it's going to take up 10 millimeters of my bag, or if I'm going to stack something on it, or if I'm going to put it on the bookshelf, I only care about the thickest edge of it. So this is much more standard laptop, and it feels better to me. I get that maybe it allowed it to slope down, giving your palms a little bit more of a rest area, but honestly, as you use this, you can't tell, and I just think it's overall a much better shape. Maybe less superior in some ways, but I actually like this shape better. Secondly, I love the color. So obviously this one is in midnight. It's a brand new color for Apple, and it's more of a blue and a black than just a black or a blue, and it has a nice iridescence to it. I actually put on this leather skin on top of it just to kind of protect all of that and really to hide the fingerprints. So that's something I don't really like, is that they obviously show up very easily on this finished aluminum case there. But I actually really love the colors. It's kind of funny because if you order a laptop from any other brand, they might offer one or two colors, white or black or gray, something like that. But Apple has always really made beautiful color options. So I really do like that, just as a consumer who wants to stand out and be a little unique. The other thing I really love is the addition of the MagSafe connector. I actually hated when they removed it because I thought it was really useful. Now, I will actually say the day I got this, I actually put the MagSafe connector in and I plugged it into the wall, and then I decided to move the MacBook, and the cable got snagged on a chair and actually popped out the MagSafe connector. I actually would have either ripped it out of the USB-C port right there if that's what it was plugged into, or I would have damaged the MacBook, or maybe had it jerked out of my hand or something like that. So on the very first day, within 30 minutes of me unboxing this thing, I was actually using the MagSafe connector and kind of had my ass pulled out of a sling on it. So I really like the addition of this. I also love the fact that I can still charge it through these Thunderbolt ports there. So if I don't take my MagSafe charger with me, I don't have to worry about it. I can just use those Thunderbolt USB-C ports right there in a cable. So I'm in no way sacrificing anything. And in fact, I have both of these still open now if I want to plug in peripherals like a microphone or a mouse or a webcam or something like that. And then I can charge it up there. So it's actually an improvement in many ways. The other thing that I really love about this, and I didn't even really think about it with the old MacBook, is that we have quick charging capability here. In fact, you can get like a 67-watt charger from Apple when you order this sucker if you go up to the upgrade on the charging block. What I have done is just bought a 100-watt charging block myself, because they're cheaper that way if you buy them directly, but you can charge this sucker up fast, and not just fast, but super fast. If this thing is dead, I have found that you get to about 40 or 50% in about 30 minutes. What I have noticed here is that if I plug this in after using it all morning, and then I go to lunch and come back and roughly anywhere from 50 minutes to an hour later, something like that, this laptop is, for the most part, as far as I can tell, fully charged up. So in an hour, I can have this bad boy charged up. This is awesome if you are someone on the go, if you are jumping from meeting to meeting, if you are working at a conference or something like that. You don't have to worry about leaving this thing plugged in for hours on end to get a few hours of charge. You can have this thing really significantly charged up in 30 minutes, 45, 50 minutes, even better. You can really have all day power from that short of a charging window. Now, the best thing about this is the battery life on this bad boy. I will tell you, I have not done a significant amount of testing on this. And in fact, many times when I'm back at my desk or if I'm at home or something like this, I just plug it in anyway. But I will tell you that in the morning, I grabbed this laptop. It was not fully charged, maybe 80, 85%. I grabbed it, went to work. I did not have a place to charge it. I was doing work on it all day. Kind of your standard stuff. A lot of web-based work, opening documents, sharing presentations, sometimes casting to a TV. Again, just closed it up, put it back in my backpack over lunch, still worked with it all afternoon, even got home, and then by the time I realized, oh, I should plug this sucker in, I'd used this bad boy for 10 hours with an additional 1 hour of idle time when I just closed it. I didn't shut it down. So 11 total hours it was on, and I still had some power left on it. So obviously at that point, I went ahead and plugged it back in. But not only am I getting all day battery power, which people used to advertise 7 hours, 7 working hours and an hour for lunch or something like that, this sucker has no problem getting through all day and some more. And so as a regular consumer worker, I love that because I can take it to work, I can work on it, I can come home, have dinner, still open it up, do some work in front of the TV, do some light work, do some casual gameplay, fool around, whatever it is, and it's still going. So, I have heard of people getting 13, 14 hours of runtime on this guy, and that wouldn't surprise me at all, and that is pretty amazing. The other thing that I love about this is the notch up here. You might actually say, Pete, you love the notch on the computer screen? Well, what the notch represents is actually an improvement on the screen. So the screen is no smaller. Where that notch is, you actually get more real estate on these sides, and all of that stuff that would be on a taskbar up at the top, like your battery power, your Wi-Fi signal, all that stuff, which is actually eating into your actual screen size, this is actually additional real estate here. So you're not losing anything, and all of that gets lined up with the notch itself. So what I really love about this is actually more screen real estate than you had before. Yes, you have this notch up here, but it kind of disappears because this bar up here gets a little darker, and all of that data, all of those little icons that you have across the top, all kind of flank that notch, and it's actually really nice. In fact, one of the things that I really wish laptops would do is have a taller than wider screen, because I think we could stack applications on top of each other and have something running up here and something running down there, and you don't have to widen the laptop. If you get really big laptops, those 17-inch screen laptops are really, really wide. So something like that, well, if you made this taller, even perfectly square, I think would actually be an improvement. So I love the fact that they have increased the screen right here and then hidden the notch in there. I actually think that's a big improvement. All right, the last thing that I want to show you here, and I think it's something that a lot of people will use, is the camera and the built-in microphone. Now, in fact, right here, I have a lot of things going. I have a fan blowing over here. I have some other ambient noise from other appliances running and stuff like that. I'm using a shotgun microphone on my camera here to just pick me up, so the audio is decent. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over to the laptop here, onto the MacBook Air, and I'm going to record directly using the video camera that's built in. Now it's 1080p and the built-in microphone. And I think that's important because a lot of people are doing web conference calls, Teams meetings, Zoom calls. Some people are recording video messages, whatever it might be. And in fact, if you're someone who does podcasts or video recording, I think this is maybe one of the best laptops I've ever used without plugging in any types of extra peripherals. So let's try it out. All right, I am on my MacBook Air M2 here, and I am recording just directly to the laptop using some webcam software, and I am using the camera that's on the laptop. If I run my finger right up to the camera lens right there, you can see that I'm using that. I actually have no idea where the microphone is that's built into here. I'm not sure if it's down by the keyboard or something like this. But what I love about this is that even though I have some noise going on around me, and if you're working at home, if you're working in a public place, you might have some of that. And for whatever reason, the MacBook Air does a really good job of kind of filtering that out. Remember, I sit here and film a lot, but I use a shotgun mic. I use a cardioid mic when I am filming to get rid of all those extra sounds. But the MacBook Air does a really good job, especially for built-in hardware. In fact, when I am doing some of these web conferences, Zoom calls, team meetings, sometimes people will ask me, what camera are you using? Did you get a separate webcam or a different microphone? And I actually say I'm just doing it on my MacBook Air using the built-in stuff, because a lot of people, I think, have PC product or a Chromebook or something like that, and the camera and the microphone are big compromises. And you can tell, I think, in some ways when people are using their built-in hardware, because they look dark, they're faded, you're not getting the refresh rate, it's really pixelated, the microphone sounds really hollow, it sounds really tinny, it sounds like it's coming through, it sounds very echoey, it sounds like it's being spoken through a pipe or something like that. And so when I'm on this, a lot of people will comment how good the picture looks, how good the audio looks, even when we're using kind of less than ideal conferencing software. So that's what I really love about this, because because now for the first time, instead of a 720p camera, we're getting a full HD 1080p front-facing camera here, and I think it really shows. Now, I am in a pretty well-lit area here, but even when I am in pretty moderately lit areas, when I'm working in my dining room or on the couch or something like that, even then, the picture quality looks pretty good. So, if you want to pick up the new MacBook Air M2 because of any of the reasons that I mentioned, the shape and the color, the MagSafe connector, the quick charge, the amazing battery life, or the improved camera and microphone right here, so that you can continue to do work, you can continue to make content, you can stay connected wherever you go, then I'll put a link to this laptop in the description below because I, so far, love it. Peter Von Panda, out.
We can discover more and explore so much deeper.